Hello, hello. What is it? Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Um, Hope all is well. We're getting ready to do this interview with one of our students here from TheProfitRoom.com. Before we do so, we're going to make sure that everybody's up and running and watching. Please share if you can. Please share if you can on your page. Just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to actually see what's going on. Let's see here. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Trying to check this out right now. Yes. Just see here. All right. Let me make sure we have all of this right here. So once again, hope all is well. My name is Ernest. I'm one of the team members here at TheProfitRoom.com. Our whole goal at The Profit Room is to teach people how to trade, invest in the different financial markets. That's what we actually do. And what we actually do at The Profit Room, we show people how to trade. We also show people how to learn how to trade different markets for financial freedom, number one. Also for just in general, to be independent professional traders. That's our whole goal at TheProfitRoom.com, to teach people how to be independent professional traders. At the same time, we look forward to showing people how to take their own money, take their own finances, right? And be able to see or understand what they're actually doing. One of the biggest things in any type of finance, whether it's a savings account, whether it's a brokerage account, a lot of people get confused on what actually happens in the market. And they put themselves in situations where they may have to rely on someone else. And we don't want to do that. We want to be able to have people have the opportunity to be able to have that self-sufficiency no matter what. It's very, very important to have self-sufficiency. Even though we as a group want to be able to build each other up, at the end of the day, you have families to take care of, you have your own personal goals to take care of. You want to be able to put yourself in a position to be able to control your finances, teach your children how to control your finances, and teach every other person around you how to do that as well. All right. So here we go. We like to talk to Sabrina. Sabrina, welcome to the Profit Room, doing our little interview. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what do you do, just a little bit, so we all know who we're dealing with.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. So like Ernest said, my name is Sabrina. I live in the Midwest, and I'm in sales, media sales. So I sell a lot of digital media, web impressions, email, and print to various travel participants, meetings, and leisure travelers. And my background for a long time was events. I was an event planner for about 15 years. And so I switched over to the meetings, over to the media side and selling to those types of venues that have meetings and events. So that's what I do. Didn't go to school for any of that. Went to school for biology, but I ended up in hospitality and now in media. So I am a mom to a teenager and an almost teenager. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. Well, that's great. It seems like you got a lot of accomplishments so far, mother, career, things of that nature. So we can't slack on that.
Mm.
So what got you into wanting to learn how to trade or invest? What was that bug or anything that got you into doing that?
Yeah, so I've always been curious about the financial markets. When you're in corporate America, we all have what the 401ks, right?
Hmm.
But when we start to really look at them, I wanted to know more about what I was doing with it, if I could, increase my contributions or if I can diversify it a little bit more. But I had no idea what I was doing. And so I started, joining kind of investment groups on Facebook to see, if I could learn a little bit more with investment strategies. And then trading was something I had never even considered. But I started hearing a little bit more and more about trading. And it sounded really interesting. I tried to watch Bloomberg, but didn't know what they were saying, right? It kind of sounds like a foreign language if you don't know what they're talking about. And they have a lot of sophisticated terminology that I'd never heard of. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about that. And so, I wanted to know where to start because sometimes it's hard to know where to start, right? There's books and, everybody on YouTube considers himself a professional, but it doesn't really teach you, where to start, square one. And, I've never done this before. This isn't my background. So I really needed someone to hold my hand and just kind of say, okay, this is where you start, pay attention to this thing right here. Don't worry about this right now, but let's just get this down and then just kind of guide me through my learning.
Okay. So you mentioned something that was very important. Like in the world of stock trading, education, and options, and all of that, you just mentioned YouTube gurus all over the place, right? Everybody teaches stock market. Everybody teaches trading. It's like everybody. So what made you? We always want to know. Now, first of all, is this your first course that you ever traded? Sure.
Yes, my very first course.
Oh,
Never traded before.
good. Because that's rare. That's very, very rare. That's very rare. So what made you decide to actually go with the profit room versus what you saw probably online? Because I really, because like everywhere you go, like you say, you were part of different Facebook groups. There's people all over that, like you said, are gurus that pop up now. They offer training. What made you decide to go with us versus them or things of that nature?
Honestly, I just really like the way that you would lay out a lot of your videos. Like you would show your profits, but you would also show, losses, and you would also show live trades. And that was something that I really wasn't seeing. And you guys really, everything, that I could look up for you guys, people were just really happy with you. You just kind of stood out among the crowd of people that I would trust to kind of teach me and guide me. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that consider themselves gurus, but they don't really teach you anything, or they're not really they're doing a whole lot of talking. And I like that you guys say we don't chat, we trade.
We get a
So
lot of people say
that,
that tagline. We don't chat, we trade.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So definitely that was something that stood out. But just kind of seeing you guys, I think you might have done an interview on stocks and stilettos, which I'm a part of that group, and it just really resonated with me. Um, and I wanted to just learn more. So I joined your Facebook group probably about um, a year before I even decided to take the plunge and become a student of the course. And just kind of, I'm more of an observer, so I kind of sit back and watch before I do anything. So it took me probably about a year before I said, okay, they're the real deal. Stalked the page for a while, read up, on everyone that was commenting, and just kind of saw how you interacted with your students and with your followers. And everything was really just kind of checking out. And so it was just one of those things where the timing aligned, so that I could take the course. And when I could do it, I did it. I said for my birthday this year, I'm gonna invest in myself. You know, I'm not going to buy anything that's going to depreciate. So my birthday was on the 15th of May, and the course was started on the 16th. And I was like, oh, there's my birthday present. I'm going to join the course. So yeah.
and I'm glad you mentioned that, because LaToya and I have been doing this for a long time. And we notice, like, we tell people, you know, just follow us. Just follow us. A lot of people, like we say, when we're here, we're here when you guys are ready. And we do get a lot of that, because people will follow for a year or something like that. And the hardest thing with trading and investing is the consistency. It's the hardest thing is actually the consistency, because what happens is the market always changes. Like we discuss all of that. The market always changes, and what's hot now may not be hot tomorrow. And you'll see, because we get a lot of people that say, yeah, I was doing this with XYZ, then they kind of disappeared a little bit. Then they pop back up, then they disappear and pop back up. And like we always say, that we always try to pride ourselves. That's just it. We don't chat, we trade. But at the same time, you're only as good as your last trade. That's what I always tell myself. You're only as good as your last trade. Like the content could still be good, but what are you doing? Like what we said before, where we were doing this pre-COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. And we know where we thrive at. We know where we thrive at, and where people may be afraid of doing certain things or making money, we can still show you how to make money, because we've been through this. We've a lot of traders here now haven't traded through 2008. And even though we're still younger, that was the fortunate thing, is that we was able to start much younger. When I started, all I knew how to do was short, which was funny, like, or buy puts. I did not know that you make money going up. Like when I started, everything was a short. So my bias was always short. So when it turned around, I was like, oh, you can make money higher. It's like, all right, here we go. So that was just one of the things where it's the consistency and the experience which we try to offer. So tell us what you thought about the course, because you were absolute beginner. This is brand new to you. We met. Tell us what you felt about the course from start, probably to finish, as an absolute beginner, and where you're currently at right now. What did the course allow you to do?
The course definitely allowed me to, well, first of all, you had a lot of people in the course, well, not a lot of people, but from all types of backgrounds, right? There were some that were newbies like myself, some that had been trading. But what I loved about the course is that everyone learned something. So for instance, myself, you know, I started, you started, right? You met me where I needed to be met, right? So you started, I think, with like, what is a stock? And then from there, we like zoomed through. And then, you know, we were doing options and, you know, the Greeks and everything by the end of the course. And I felt like it went at a pace that I could definitely follow. I love that we could go back and refer to the classes. You know, I ended up probably watching the classes at least two, if not 2 or 3 times. So if there was something that I felt like, oh, I got this in the first time that I listened to it, I listened to it again, and then I get another nugget. So I love that I could always go back and refer to it, and then just take things that I might have missed because I was, you know, when you're learning, you might be pondering on something that's brand new to you, and then you may miss something else you said. So it's always great to kind of go back, listen to it again, and then you get, you know, maybe 2 or 3 things that you didn't even get the first time. So I love that it was recorded. We could go back. You guys were always there for us. You know, if we had questions, we of course could ask during the course, but if we had questions outside of the class, we could email you guys and you were on it. You know, you and LaToya responded right away. So yeah, I love, and like I said, you gave me a foundation of where I could start. Before, I had no idea where to start because there's so many things that you can, you know, should I be paying attention to this? What should I be learning first? You don't know. So I love that you gave us kind of a map of, okay, this is the starting point, and this is where we're going to go, and this is what you should be doing by the end of this course. And, you know, I follow the map, and I feel like I'm well on my way to becoming a successful trader.
All right. So you're at the time now where you know how to place a trade. You can
Yes.
get in a trade and get out of a trade and know what you're actually looking at. Now that's big.
Yes.
That's big for the
Yeah.
average person who never done it before.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. So that's great. Let me ask you this. How did you feel about the end of the course when we brought you guys in the Slack and Master Don? No, Master Don. Talk about how did you feel about that?
So that was great. It was interesting because I think we didn't know what to expect, because, you know, the classes ended, the live classes ended, you know, the timed courses ended, and then we go into this Slack channel where everyone's together, we're all kind of meeting each other, and then Don, you know, pops up and he's just throwing stuff at us, right? And we're like, like, wait a minute. And so, you know, he challenges us to, you know, not only think about the right answer, but give the right answer. And so, and he, you know, he stays on us until we get it right. So Don was interesting. Don was great, though. I was really active in the class, so I was on every day. You know, fortunately, I'm not doing a whole lot of work right now, so I could be kind of on throughout the day. And you know, Don with the he would you know, say, you know, I was prideful because I answered everything. We had a running joke that, you know, prideful Sabrina, because I was always trying to answer. But the great thing about that is that, you know, I'm not one that's afraid to make mistakes, and so that's the place to make it. And so Don welcomed that. You know, he worked with us through our mistakes, and I think we're all better for it because we were able to learn. You know, not so much because I think I was talking about, because it was an option class, I was talking about calls specifically, because I was leaning more towards calls when he was asking about expirations, and he called me out on it, right? He was like, no, Sabrina, you can't forget about the put. You got to sharpen that put pencil. So, you know, that was really insightful, but it was great. And we're still, I know we'll all continue to, even after the class, stay in touch with each other. It's a great supportive system with the classroom, and, you know, kind of being all in there together. So we're all cheering on each other, and we all want to see success. And so I felt really supported with not just only Don. He's a great cheerleader, as are, you know, you, Latoya, Kevin. But then the class as a whole, you know, everyone wants everyone to succeed. There's no competition, and I just kind of love that atmosphere.
And I think, and that's what we wanted. Like, remember the first time of the class, I told you guys, there's people here who's either interested, or they want it, or they really want it. And I just said, that's the three type of students we get. You're interested, because you're going to learn no matter what. You're going to learn, and that's what we encourage. Like, there's nothing to be bashful about. Like, you're paid for a service, right? And that's what we're known for. We're trying to give you everything. So that's it. Like, I'm glad that you have that personality to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don is there. Like, that's why you don't see Latoya and I in the room like that, because Don is all fundamentals and Greeks. Like, I peeped in there once or twice, and I saw a little bit of what y'all was talking about, and I got out. Because once Don starts going, that's his passion. That's his passion. And that's the stuff, like interviews like this. That's what we want people to understand. Once you come in and we provide a service, we're going to make sure you get everything that you can get. And some people are shy. Like you said, some y'all message, y'all talk in the back end, even though eventually we're going to put y'all in the private Facebook group. But those relationships that you develop, because like even like after the first class, somebody message, like you said, different levels. Oh, I made $1,200 this week. I made $3,000 this week. And I'm like, but because sometimes everybody, some students we get, they're just missing that one thing. They're
Right.
just missing that one thing, and they just have that aha moment. So they'll message me on the
Mm-hmm.
back end, hey, I took the technical analysis part. I got it. I got it. Where for you,
Okay.
it's still like, what is, but those people in the group, since you guys are connected in discussing, are going to help you out because you guys are
Yeah,
building a bond like that. So
absolutely.
that's great to hear. So I don't want to keep you too long. So what are your short term goals with trading and investing, and eventually like your long term? What do you see yourself? And I got one more question after that as well. So how do you feel so far short term, and what are you looking to try to do long term?
Yeah, so right now, like you mentioned, I knew how to take trades. I am currently paper trading, and I've been doing pretty well with that.
Hmm.
Definitely profiting. Um, so short term, I definitely want this to be kind of my side hustle. A big thing that you all preach in the course is like have a trading plan. So I definitely will have a plan, making, $300 to $500 a week, right? So when I actually start trading real money, that'll be my plan for the short term. And then once I become better and better, that goal will that plan will increase a little bit more until where eventually, I want to trade, all the time and,
Hmm.
not have to sell media to
No, I
people that
got
aren't
you.
buying because it's a pandemic. Um, but yeah, I'd love to do that and just kind of be on my own schedule. You can trade from anywhere in the world. So I'd love to do that. Options is what I'm focusing on right now, but I will probably take more classes and learn about futures and forex. So
You got that
that's
trading
kind of
bug,
the
don't
structure.
you? Got you.
I do. I'm an eternal student. So I feel like I learned so much. Like I said, the course gave me a great foundation. It gave me enough courage and enough know-how to just kind of go and, like I said, read the things that I didn't necessarily understand, or if there was something you said in the class, now I know, okay, that's something that's important, so let me go read up on it a little bit more and get a better understanding about it. And so I think I mentioned Bloomberg and CNBC used to be like, speaking a different language. Now I can turn that on and know exactly what they're talking about.
Yep.
And I can call people out and be like, he said a lot of words, but he really didn't say anything, and
You can read past the smoke, right? Now you
yeah,
know.
exactly. But you asked him a question and he ultimately said it's going to go up or down. Like, you didn't answer the question. So
Yeah,
I feel a lot more confident in what I know, and I'm excited about what I have to learn still. But it was a great course, and I'm hungry for more.
got you. So another question I like to ask for those newbies, because you're an absolute noob, and we love training newbies. Oh my goodness, because the bad habits we don't have to break, so it makes it even better for us. But for somebody just starting out, just in general, what just tell them, I know you have your fears that you had already, but what can you give them comfort about just the financial markets in general? Not even necessarily even the profit room, which they should come to us, but what can you tell them in general about learning how to trade stocks and options and things of that nature that may ease their fear?
I think that anyone can do it, really. I mean, it's just a matter of believing, that you can do it. You can learn. Anyone can learn it if you have the hunger to just, learn it and sit down. And with the profit room, if you need a place to start, they'll tell you, where to start. Right? I was brand new, and like I said, you started off with, what a stock is, and then took it from there. And so, as someone that had never really, looked at a chart, it just looks like I could be looking at an EKG for all we knew, right? Looks like the same, just kind of squiggly lines and bars. So now I can look at those charts and actually, know, what trend something is in, and, when I should get into a trade, when I should, leave a trade. And that was, it's been a month maybe.
Yep.
So yeah. So, like I said, I think anyone can do it. Don't try to say, well, I don't know anything. I didn't know anything, right? I just had a hunger to learn. And
Yep.
so you just have to say to yourself, I want to learn this, and so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to learn it. And the best thing about the class is that you have other people in there learning with you, and you have a certain time that you buy books, right? But a book can sit on a shelf. You have the best intentions when you order it, but if you don't actually, open it and you read it, and no one's holding you accountable to say, hey, you need to read, for an hour and a half and learn this thing, you're not going to do it. So with the live class, it was great because, we had a certain time we had to be there. We had homework, which was great. So I couldn't procrastinate. I had to do my homework. I felt like I was back in school, right?
Yep.
And so it was, it challenged me to be accountable, come to class ready, contribute to the class. I think, anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah. And I think that's our whole goal. Like Latoya and I are traders first. We came up with the Profit Room for people who saw us, posting live trades on Instagram, I'm talking all this smack or whatever. So it took us about a year. And what's great about what you're able to accomplish, there's many people who say that they trade. There's a lot of people. And when they come to us, especially on a technical side or even like candlesticks, they never were given structure. So that's the biggest thing. If you never get structure, you never build confidence. Like you're placing trades and you see it happening. Like you can see it happening based off of what you learned systematically. So
Yeah.
we'll get people that have been like trading 20, 30 years, and they'll talk to us about candlesticks or technicals. Say, I never looked at it like that. I never knew it like that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
just because they read a book or they think they know how to get in and out of a trade, they don't have that structure. They never were given homework, or they may have never been challenged in order to get to that specific level. And that's why no matter what we do, it's all about confidence. And that's why, like, I hear from you is the confidence, because that's going to allow you to grow and grow because you can see it for yourself versus being scared. And I'm just
Absolutely.
proud that you were able to pick up on it, because I have a personality like that too. If I'm going to take a class, I'm going to ask as many questions as possible. I'm going to get my money's worth. And that's the first thing you said from the beginning. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. When you get in the Slack room, ask questions, because we know, because I'm always online, I'm posting videos, things of that nature, whatever. I have to be able to back up whatever we're talking, right? Because everybody teaches, but we know that you're going to give you a solid education in order for you to learn how to trade. And unfortunately, right, when I said in the beginning, you have control. You have control over what you're learning. I can give you everything and I can show you everything. Latoya can give you everything and show you everything. Don is definitely going to give you everything, because Don doesn't stop.
Right.
That's why he's on our team. His passion is for fundamentals and Greeks. And that's why I was like, like, Don, do your thing. It's up to you, right? It's up to you in order to suck that in and take that information. And you did. So
Absolutely.
I like to say
Yeah. And
congratulations to you because,
thank you.
you're actually doing it. And that's the whole goal of what we try to do, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you have that knowledge to pass it on to your children. You have that knowledge to grow off of that. And within another year from now, you could be trading any other market that you want to. And it's like, hey,
Hmm.
and that's good because it's only been a month for you, right? So that
Yeah.
shows how hungry you are, like,
Yeah.
boom,
It
I'm
went
saying,
quick.
yeah, exactly, because it's a brand new language. But
Yeah, absolutely.
that's what we mention to people. Once you dedicate yourself to it, and that's what I was saying, the hardest students we get who are either currently in the class, who have taken another class, right? And I got to tell them, listen, bro,
Yeah.
sister, forget everything you learned. No, but I paid this. I said, forget everything you learn. I'm not saying you can't use it. I
Right.
know I'm not saying it's not valuable, but if you want me or Latoya to teach you, you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Know how we think.
Absolutely. And I'm glad I, got in and just kind of started from scratch. And I think you mentioned in class, we're going to teach you how to do this. And, when you finish this class, you're going to know exactly, when to take a trade, when not to take a trade. And I better not see you guys on these groups asking if this trade is good or if
Yep.
if I should get on it. And so that's true because you see so many people that are, call themselves traders and they're always, asking the masses, is this a good trade or what do you think about this? And, that's something that I don't think that I will have to encounter because you guys really teach us how to read the charts and leave out the emotions.
Yep. I get on my students all the time. If I see them in a Facebook group and I'm like, did you? Oh, no, I'm like, all right, I'm just trying to make sure. Don't be asking nobody opinion, like, because I take that personal because I'm like, you should know how to look for a trade. Don't be asking nobody's opinion about should I get in this trade? Should I get out that trade? We don't do that here at the Profit. You know how to get in. You should be educated enough to make that decision on your own, right? And if you need
Right.
some
Yep.
assistance, message me or Latoya. Don't be asking no people in these groups that. Like, you better than that. I don't mean it like that, but you get what
Exactly.
I'm saying. It's just like
Yeah.
I gave you and Latoya gave you the
You gave us some
information
tools.
to make
Yeah.
the decision on your own. That's
Right.
self-sufficiency, independent, professional trading, right?
Yes.
And you should always value that no matter what. So
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
cool. So
That's
thank you,
awesome.
Sabrina,
Yeah.
so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah.
Appreciate that. We just wanted to share some like that with people. And you know, it's so great. So we're here to help you guys when you're ready. We're glad that you was able to appreciate our product and our service that we provide because, at the end of the day, we want people to be able to control the finances, even if you
Absolutely.
don't do it as a career or a job. It's just that you have that knowledge there that's
Yeah.
available in order to do it. And you never know what it leads you to in the future.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like the investment was definitely worth it, and I feel like the knowledge that I got and what I will be able to do in the future, I'll get that back tenfold. So it was worth every penny for me.
All right, no problem. So enjoy the rest of your day. And like
Okay. You
we say
too.
with everybody, as always, get educated and trade safe. So we see you guys at the Profit Room.